It's coming. Good morning, Colini Francesco from Italy, CEO and founder, and I am really glad to introduce my co-owner from our offices 100 kilometers north of London, Mr. David Brebner, who will be our official speaker. David, here we are.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Francesco. Okay, so let's, without further ado, bring up the slides, if we may. Okay, wonderful. So do type questions in the chat window as we go. This is a practical session and a technical session. And our subject this morning is advanced content and malware filtering protection, specifically for Mikrotiks. So let's move on to the first slide. So for those of you joining us, you're all broadly aware of our capabilities focused around malware and content protection, excellent reporting, deployment capabilities, and commercial suitable for all types of business, especially the small and medium size. Most recently added in the support for home worker protection. Delighted with our excellent facilities to integrate with Active Directory and great support all behind that. So I want to also say a few words in terms of our, of our business side, just to introduce things, because we remained focused on one vision: securing the internet. And as we go forward, we're going to be doing more and more programs about helping you to secure more things using our cloud. We've just got 3 products: Pro Plus, ISP Lite, distributing now in 109 countries through 600 resellers, with over 4 million users protected. In fact, that 4 million excludes the ISPs market and the and the public Wi-Fi's. But each day we're filtering more than 10 million blocks and 2.5 billion websites inspected daily. Okay, so there's a lot going on the network. I'm going to talk about development of the network actually in this session. So just to touch on the network. So our network continues to grow and expand, and here we have the installed networks and those opening in Q4. So we've now got a nice footprint around the globe. This game is also about delivering low latency, and as you'll all be aware, we do have our cloud box feature, which allows an on-premise deployment of a DNS function and therefore provides very low latency. Okay, effectively bringing the cloud right into your offices there. So we're going to look specifically at some of the new sites being launched coming up and the upgrades coming to our cloud. We've got some very significant upgrades with DOH support, IPv6, the like. Talk about those.
Within November, the new FlashStart Courage DNS upgrade and the remaining data centers, Santiago in Chile, Bangalore, and New York City will be online by the end of November. Confirmed.
And
sorry, I think there are some issues with the sound from Nico, Maggie, and Bilan. Did you solve? Please use Chrome. Chrome is best with click meeting. Just a second in order to get positive feedback from everyone who experienced some issues. Okay, Cecilia, can you hear us? Balan, can you hear us? Present? Can you see? Can you hear us? Okay. Yes. Okay. Thanks, David. Sorry. Please go ahead.
That's great. And just for the team supporting us, I just had a message from Barry in South Africa saying he's having trouble to access on the network. Andrea, would you be kind enough to contact Barry direct and just ensure he can join? Thank you. Okay, so we continue to expand our customer base. Very proud of the customer base. We are getting more and more great customers all over the world. I'm going to move on from. I'm going to skip over this right now to come read to the start of the content here. I do have to apologize for the background noise. Okay, so Mikrotik, FlashStart on Mikrotik, the most popular filter for Mikrotik users. Very fast deployment, requires no modification of the FlashStart of the Mikrotik device at all, and uniquely, this is our primary development platform, and both Mikrotik and FlashStart stand for advanced technology at a very good price point. Okay, that very natural partnership. Okay, so that's the foundations of what we're building here. The features that we're adding to the Mikrotik, clearly we're mitigating the bad stuff: malware, ransomware, botnets, filtering content, allowing you to block specific countries to create walled gardens. Doing all this with nice reporting analysis and GDPR compliancy, and allowing you also to bring granular protection in certain implementation models, Pro Plus, so that individual devices or individual users can have specific filtering profiles applied to them. Okay, and we're going to look at the setup of this shortly. Francesco's going to lead that demo. Secondly, a really key feature is the support for DNS over VPN. This is important in deployments with NAT, carrier grade NAT, allowing us to set a profile behind the NAT feature so that the filtering profiles can run in that environment. So that single public IPs, NATed down on sites, very common in ISP deployments. Excellent support for that, implemented in a native fashion with the Mikrotik router OS language against our network. Very high levels of reliability. We're going to look at the setup of this as well. Okay, and integration with our Pro Plus Active Directory feature. Natively, some of our competitors are offering downloads for end user clients. We don't do any of that. This is a native integration with a local DNS proxy, deployable, usually in VM, can also be on a physical machine on request, with support for VMware, Hyper-V, Proxmox, and Francesco will talk about some aspects of that. So the data in this deployment model always remains on site. Okay, GDPR compliant with many of the other global standards, emerging standards like PAPIR in South Africa, like COSEPA is it in California. These guys tend to take GDPR as the basis. I haven't seen the exceptions to that, and we are working around that. The data on site is your data. Okay, so it's possible to access that, but not legal. Okay, I'll just mention that. Okay, so what Francesco is going to be showing you in a moment is going to be the setup on the left-hand screen here of the AD users and how that integrates with the FlashStart through the proxy setup, and then classic display of the AD groups and the integration with that. Fast, simple, complete, comprehensive. And then, as the last part of our demo today, we're going to be just touching upon the whole issue of home workers, whether it be for business or school. Things have changed so much through the new normal we've come to from COVID. And we've talked in previous webinars about the explosion in pornography, and pornography drives the download of bad stuff and malware. It's important, and our customers recognize it is important to control those working from home and keep them safe. Okay, safe from exposing the business PCs, the school laptops, tablets, devices to forms of malware, which then transmit the way onto the business networks and wreak havoc. Okay, so we're in the business of helping you mitigate those threats coming out of the internet, and that's our Pro Plus Client Shield product, which is a downloadable endpoint application administered under the same rules as classic FlashStart, Released now on Windows with Chromebook, iOS, Android, coming very, very shortly. Okay. Francesco.
Okay.
I've rattled through that.
Okay, thank you, David, for your initial presentation. Halloween, yes, we have just started. So let's give me just 5 minutes. I'm gonna introduce a normal setup through a Mikrotik system. A Mikrotik DNS over VPN in a carrier-grade NAT environment, and a ProPlus Active Directory first setup, and then a client shield setup. Let me just premise, we choose to make everything live, okay? Most of our competitors record the videos before and then show the video, okay? We wanna go live, and we are also willing to accept some issues that might come around, but we wanna share our live experience. Okay, let me share my screen. We are broadcasting live now. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay, is it visible?
Francesco.
Okay, can you see everything? Can you see my screen, David?
Yeah, I see it, and some yeses there in the chat window. So go ahead, Francesco.
Okay, so let me log in. FlashStart is translated into several languages with localized guides. That's my test account. Let me log in. Okay, the system already lends you into the customer area. It's a very nice multi-tenant dashboard to get prices, to manage customers and licenses, and the sales tool. Okay, in our YouTube channel, FlashStart, there are many videos about our previous webinars. Let me go live into Protection Manager, and first exercise, let me start a very first connection to a Mikrotik router. What do I need? I need to split into a part of the screen, and then I will use Mikrotik Winbox to connect. Okay, we are using a Mikrotik RB951 machine. Okay, let me start with initial setup. Let me select a standard configuration, proceed. I can choose between Pro and Pro Plus version. Let me choose Pro Plus, Standard Pro version for this first exercise. And let me select connect your site router for dynamic IP connection. Okay, maybe we can have dynamic or static IP address. It doesn't mind. Okay, let me select this stuff, and I can work through many routers. Okay, FlashStart is an independent brand, so we do not rely to a single brand. But now let me choose Mikrotik, and then the system prompts me for two different configuration. Okay, standard public dynamic IP, the top choice if you have a public IP, both standard and dynamic, or the second one will be a DNS over VPN if your environment is natted with several customers going out to the internet behind the same NAT router. Let me choose the very first scenario. I can choose automatic configuration. We provide a fully automatic script set. Let me repeat my password because the system requests to authenticate back again. And now let's have a look. Let me split the screen. Okay, here I need to select the script. I can also automatically redirect any DNS connection, okay, to avoid users to change DNS to free service, for example, Google. And let me copy. Let me click on continue. Now, let me go through the Winbox. I can simply open a terminal and then right-click, paste the script. Okay, that's all. I can close my script prompt, and then I can check through System menu, Scripts, FlashStart. FlashStart has just created an authentication script It's very simple, just 2 lines. The system also schedule every minute, but to speed up our demonstration, okay, we can run the script, okay, run count 1. Fine, let me go back to FlashStart, and now let me click on connection test. Finished. The first configuration has just been finished. I can close, I can give a good feedback, and then the system immediately detaches my dynamic IP address, and it connects my IP address to the basic profile. And also the system tells me which DNS servers should I use, but everything has been automatically redirected. Now, to be very fast, you already know, protection tab. This allows you to block, for example, dangerous website, malware, and bad contents. We have more than 80 different categories, split it into 12 big macro categories. You can also type your personal blacklist or whitelist, and FlashStart is also capable of refining Google and Bing search engine safe search. We can also split out some countries, for example, satellite connection, or maybe Russian website. Sometimes are quite dangerous in terms of viruses and of ransomware spread. We can get reports. We can have lots of reports in the system. It's very easy to gather report and to select report by date, or to split between different information. And I can also schedule reports by mail. Let's be very fast. I can also search between 6 months of historical data, and I can also search into real-time analysis in order to perform troubleshooting. We have several functions that help our partners to offer a very good service to our customers. And this is our network. Fine, that's for a very simple environment. Now, if everything is all right for you, let me complicate our scenario. Let me delete my network, and let me delete the Mikrotik scripts and the Mikrotik scheduler setup. Okay, now, second scenario. We are going out to the internet from a carrier-grade NAT, which is releasing to every customer a private IP address. Okay, for example, for smaller ISPs, the scenario is quite common. So, how to distinguish filtering, policies, blacklist, and report between multiple customers going out to the internet from the same NAT gateway? Let's use our second facilities, DNS over VPN. Let me choose standard back again, pro version, it's okay. And now let me choose connect your site router, but this time we will select Mikrotik NAT connection. Let me retype back again the password. And now, what does FlashStart do? FlashStart will set up a VPN connection just to encapsulate DNS traffic. So standard traffic, upload, downloads will normally go out through your connection. But just, let me repeat, because it's very important to better understand this message, just DNS queries will come around through the tunnel. Let me copy my script, let me continue, and then let me come back to my Mikrotik Winbox. Let me open a new terminal script, right-click, and let me paste. Finished. So, if I go to interfaces, Mikrotik routers is now launching an open VPN tunnels, okay, towards our Mikrotik global network. Through this tunnel, DNS queries will be encapsulated through the tunnel. Now, if I go to DNS server, the system will encapsulate DNS traffic to a private IP address, okay, 10.203.0.1. That's the private side of our Frankfurt data center in Europe, but we have several nodes from Sydney to Toronto to Asia, Malaysia, and so on. And let me test the connection. The connection has just succeeded successfully. And if I go through the network system, my connection is green, and the connection is DNS over VPN. The system suggests to use your Mikrotik router IP as your DNS server, and therefore your Mikrotik router will bound DNS queries to the FlashStart secure VPN gateway. Let me ask you if everything is okay up to now. Do you want to ask something, or should I proceed with the Active Directory connection? Is everything okay? Because we are complicating much more the environment. Okay, thank you, Maggie. Okay, just 5 minutes more, 3 minutes in order to show you the Active Directory connection. Now let me delete my VPN connection and let me close my Mikrotik router board. Now, how to do? Yes, I love flying, and I love British Airways because it's about 7 years, 7 months I do not fly to the UK due to the pandemic, but as soon as possible I will reach London. So now, how does the Active Directory works? We need 2 more components. Okay, let me complicate furtherly, but it's very simple. Okay, complication in simplicity. Let me select standard version, but now let me select Pro Plus. Okay, if you want to gather a comparison, it's very easy. Here we offer a very nice comparison between our 2 versions. Okay, Pro Plus is also capable of Client Shield, of Active Directory, and you can set up a very nice and useful DNS cache. And then you can filter granularly basing upon users and group. Now, let me choose Pro Plus version, proceed. Okay, let's start setting up. We need just 3 actions. Set up the Windows connector, set up the on-premise DNS cache, and then change network configuration. Proceed. To speed up, we have already synchronized our Windows server. It's a very simple Windows 2016 server, and we have synchronized 52 groups in 11 users. Okay, you can download a Windows native certified logo software, and that's the result. Okay, this is our configuration script. Let me switch to English. Username and password, same username as you access FlashStart. You can sync every 5 minutes, 30 minutes, doesn't matter. And you can also sync manually through FlashStart Global Anycast Network API. And it says I have synchronized 11 users, 52 groups, and 9 Active Directory zones. Okay, it's very important also to synchronize our local zones, for example, local network, .local, and so on. Okay, just finished. No more action on Windows. Second point, we need to download a very basic and tiny virtual machine. We already have images for Hyper-V, Proxmox, and VMware. We also offer some very nice guides, okay, in order to set up. The basic scenario consists in a 2 GB of RAM machine and 2 virtual CPUs. It's a very basic machine with Hyper-V native machine, VMware virtual app, and Proxmox virtual image. Now, that's our virtual machine. I can access through the console or through PuTTY. It's very simple setup. We need to select our keyboard. We need we need to give a name to the system, and we need to set up a network. Okay, a private IP address. This will be on premise inside your network, subnet mask, network, and gateway. Okay, nothing more. It's very easy. Point number 3, device activation. I need to set up my username, same username here too, filter.trial@gmail.com, and then I need to type my password. The system will check, and then the system will say the activation has succeeded successfully. Now, and software update, it's automatic, and I have also some very nice tools and utilities in order to perform some troubleshooting. Now, let me refresh my screen. It changes, and my Active Directory page says Windows Connector, component number 1, synchronized group and user, and Active Directory zone. DNS proxy on premise, status online, and it also had CPU status, RAM, and the free space on disk. If you finish your space or something goes wrong, you will be email alerted. Now we can create a multiple profile. For example, a profile for employee. I can assign groups and user. For example, let me assign, I don't know, let me switch between groups. I can assign, for example, support team and test users, but I can also assign a single user. For example, me. Okay, Francesco. Fine, close. This group, sorry, I think I didn't click on the add button. Okay, click on add, fine. Okay, so these users and groups will be filtered with this specific profile. For example, we block pornography, social network, okay, because technicians place all day, and we also block malware and threats and audio video to avoid streaming and bandwidth congestion. Okay, let me come back to another group. Let me select top management group, and now let me assign, for example, the lady, okay, Mary's, Massimo, and Andrea. Okay, let me hypothesize they are our top management group. Let me join these users into the group. Let me switch back, and now let me change policies for them. I can give dating, I can give them social network, and so on. But let me just filter out dangerous and malware and threats website, and so on. So I can continue, and I create granular policies. Now, is everything all right? Because I've just remained our last exercise, the connection for smart workers, okay, for remote users working from home, and we will see that we'll be able to attach different policies.
Just before you go on to that, just to give you also a chance to catch your breath, Francesco. Any questions? Do type them in the chat window.
Is everything clear? Because because we are running and rushing a lot, but
yeah, we're doing this pretty
everything fast. Yes, because we have really several function and features this time. Do you remember, David, last year we just had 2 features? Today we have several features. Okay, thank you, Clyde. Okay,
yeah,
just okay, no question yet. Love more information after a webinar? Yes. It's possible also to request a callback to gather slides and videos.
Video, yeah.
Okay, let me just proceed with our last point. Okay, so smart worker. Now the pandemic revealed a strong need for a smart worker and for smart classes for school. Now, thanks to FlashStart Pro Plus.
And just to add, so The term smart worker and home worker is basically the same thing, though home worker is more known as the term I know in the UK.
Yes.
Sorry, just to
No,
get
no.
clarity on what this
In
is.
Italy, we are quite used to use smart worker. It depends on the country. So, FlashStart is also ready with the Windows version, but the Macintosh version, the Chromebook, iOS, and Android version are coming soon. Okay, this is a new mask for most of you. And now, let me select the profile. Let me hypothesize. At the moment, I'm working from home. Okay, let me hypothesize this. And I'm an employee. And then I need to set up my Windows client and synchronize my DNS protection with the same policies as the company. So let me select the profile. If you have a remote users, okay, you can send if you want the link through email, so it will be very easy to install. And then let me download my Windows customers, my Windows software. I have already set up it before the beginning. Now let me copy the security key. What's that? The security security key, it's a code to connect and to authenticate to join the client to your installation. Now, let me pick up the client. It's very simple, smart and simple. Right click, and then let me pass my security key. I can also change a name. It's a description if you want to classify, or you can also leave it blank if you prefer. Now, let me click on register device. Registration completed successfully, and okay, let me finalize my environment. Now the system is connecting. So how does it work? FlashStart Client Shield creates a very simple VPN tunnel to just encapsulate DNS queries. Okay, normal traffic, downloads and uploads will go out normally with your line, but DNS traffic will be chained and will be delivered through the tunnel. Let me see my client, my remote IP address, synchronization, the group employee, and I can also gather my disable pin, because if I want to disable protection, the software is locked. So the user will need to enter a security pin delivered by the administration. It's a very important point in order to avoid final users to unlock the protection in a company. Let me confirm, and then the system will disable the protection. We have also some very nice features, such as the Office Standby. If you want to automatically disable your laptop Client Shield protection when the user come back to the company, you can do it by yourself, and you can also benefit of a very nice login table and a very nice history of your connection. It's also possible to implement a multiple profile. For example, you can deliver different policies also at home, also to the remote endpoints for employees, for top management, or for any other kind of user. David, let me just ask if there are any questions about DNS over VPN, about Mikrotik integration, about our general scenario, and about Active Directory Pro Plus, and finally about Client Shield. Please go on. It's a good time to ask for any questions, and then David will complete our model and our presentation. Thank you. If you can answer whatever you want.
So just to pause there. So at the beginning, Francesco explained he downloaded this client already. Just to add that the download is only about 5 meg, and then it unpacks. It's small. It's very practical for full installation at home of an unskilled knowledge worker. and requires no trip to the office to install for mass rollout. I think that's an important point. And when it comes to the coming devices for Android and iOS, you'll see that the power consumption on these is very low indeed. And the bandwidth requirements are very low for working in remote areas where you might be dependent on a 3G router or like. So looks like no questions for the moment, which is fine. But thanks for the nice feedback. So let's continue. Right. So a few words on the network. We are in the middle of some major upgrades on our global Anycast network. Several points to that. The first is that we're upgrading all the core edge.
Okay, David, I think you have some connection problem. David, can you hear me? David,
Processing by 15-fold. I hear
you disappeared. Yes, okay, yeah.
All right,
yes,
thanks. Yeah. So we're investing in better core edge on the network. Was really driving by the growth of our business. We're rolling out support of DOH, so that's DNS over HTTPS. It's a very important standard. We've been supporting this in a number of ways to date, but this is full native support to process within the network. So that's a new feature that's coming online very soon, and full support for IPv6. Okay. There's lots of other stuff going on as well with further developments on artificial intelligence and continuing analysis on content and malware categorizations. But from the data center point of view, we're in process to upgrade and open New York, Toronto, Canada, Sydney, Australia, Bangalore, Santiago in Chile, and finally Sao Paulo in Brazil. Okay, so lots of work going on, lots of innovation. Hopefully lots of nice features at great prices. That's what we're about. That's what FlashStart is about, and that's our focus. So coming towards the end, thank you so much for your time. We're offering, the possibility of a webinar promotion, 20% discount for orders in the next
both new customer and for FlashStart customer. Okay, it's valid for everyone. For both new customer who wanna increase and make some store of licenses, and also for welcome customers.
So we hope you're finding some more confidence to engage with us, the new things, take the new features out for other groups of your users, and work more with us, and that's open for you. So just come to the chat and request the discount, and we'll authenticate and proceed there. Okay, right. Francesco will now enable the feedback link, and we'd be so grateful just to take literally a minute just to rate our contents and how the webinar has been through this morning. We go through all of this stuff very carefully. You can request a call back in here as well, and we'll call you during today to follow that up. On any point. Okay, that'll be myself or Francesco or one of the team here. We'll get straight on it. Okay, so thanks for that. So just to ask you to take a minute on that. Thanks. Thanks. You can see in the chat there is also the link to the pricing section. If you'd like to go there, all our prices are online. So following that link, you log in with your username, password, and then you find your way into the pricing area. And there you can find the pricing that's been set up for your industry. So Francesco,
okay,
how we're doing on the feedback so far?
Yes, feedbacks are arriving. We will just ask you to be very kind to complete your survey, because it's really important for us to improve ourselves and our content. How to benefit about the discount? It's very easy. We will deliver an email later with our price list access, and you will simply need to apply for the price list. If you are already customer, you can use our chat, or simply you can write an email to support@flashstart.com, and we will immediately grant you the 20% of discount, but it is strongly limited just for 7 days. Okay, no more. It's very easy. Follow the link. The link is already present in our chat, kindly sent by our colleague Andrea, and you will request price, and automatically the system will assign you the 20% of discount. And in the survey, you're also able to request a callback with a demo, with a custom demo, or with a question and answer session for free. If you want, you can please leave your phone number, and we'll be glad to get in touch back again with you. So just to use our last 3 minutes for any question you wanna write to us in the chat, any question about technical sales, about Mikrotik integration, or integration maybe with other kind of routers and brand, please be free to ask whatever you want in our live chat now. Thank you for answering. Please complete the survey. It's very important for us, and let's go live. For any question, you are allowed totally to use our chat. Someone is typing. Let's wait just a few minutes for any questions, doubt, or feedbacks, or maybe critics. We are also totally open to share critics with you in order to improve our platform and our product, which I remember it is just sold through the channel. So we do not do not allow any direct sales from FlashStart, and everything is managed through our partners and reseller and distributors. Please go ahead with the question if you want, because we are gonna close and end this webinar. Okay. Okay, thank you for the presentation. Okay, thank you. Okay, looking forward to a collaboration. No question for me. Okay, is everything clear? So, did you like our new features? Just a feedback in order to understand if you like our new feature and our new implementation, because there is a lot of work that has been done, and many other work to be done. And gathering your feedbacks is really important. Okay, please complete, because part of you didn't complete the survey. We are really grateful if you can complete the survey, please now. Okay, David, if you wanna add something.
Well, got a few comments coming in to thank us for it. So thanks again for that. Any requests on future webinars you'd like to see? We'll take those. We're going to be running an ISP specific webinar coming up. We're going to be distributing out the slides and the recording very shortly. Typically takes us between 24 and 48 hours to get that out. Okay, just to get the processing done in the system for the video. That's the longest.
I think this evening, I think this time it will be faster, thanks to Andrea, which will compact the video, collect the information, and then send it back, because the promotion is quite short and we wanna speed up the DM, the thanks email delivery. Okay, let me leave you the survey opened just for a bit more in order to complete and